Conor McGregor, you gotta come back and fight somebody. I'll see you every time.
Surprise, surprise, the king is back.
This is the end. My only friends, the end. That's right. This is the last episode of TUF Hang, at least for covering season 31 of The Ultimate Fighter. Perhaps a more appropriate reference would be the horror, if we're talking Apocalypse Now references, based on how things went for my microphone's off kilter here. Based on how things went for Team McGregor this season. But we will get to that. This is your host, Alexander K. Lee, of course, joined once again by my esteemed co-host, GC Conor Burks.
Sad day, man. Sad day. I can't believe we made it. Can't believe we made it to the end. It's surreal, I have to say. Making it through my first season of TUF. It's a surreal moment for me.
You were so bright-eyed and cheery on the first episode, and you were really into the show. I really felt like you were into the show. Even more so now, right? Yeah, okay.
I watched every episode. I wore the TUF jersey for the last 2.5 months. But yeah, we can get into final reviews at the end of the episode.
Oh, yes, for sure. We definitely have to do a season-ending recap. And, of course, we're also joined by producer extraordinaire, Casey Leydon.
Dude,
Casey, this won't be the last Ultimate Fighter. I don't know if we're doing TUF Hang anymore, but there will be more Ultimate Fighter. Okay. The show will never end. It will never end.
Okay.
Get it together.
I get it together. Casey.
Get it together. We had our final fight of the season, Rico DeShulo versus Cody Gibson. Conor McGregor's last chance to get one of his original picks into the finals. And as we just saw, Rico could not pull it off despite a valiant effort. Had a little bit of bad luck, one might say. Cody Gibson gets the finish, arm triangle on the ground. GC, your thoughts on the fight?
One-sided. I mean, it was. I was hoping for something from Rico, but yeah, I mean, once it went to the ground, it was pretty much a wrap. It looked for a second like Rico had something there, but nah, it just wasn't meant to be. I mean, it was domination from pillar to post. I know he said a lot about slipping, about tripping, but it felt like the fight was going to inevitably end up on the ground, and from there, it was all Cody Gibson.
Let's talk about the slip. We have to. It pretty much defined the fight. It led directly to Cody being able to get the fight to the ground. We had a little pre-show discussion. We don't want to talk about it too much. We want to save it for the viewers here. I thought, oh no, Rico is another victim of the UFC Apex. Well, I guess UFC Octagon in general. The vinyl ads on the mat, they're all over the place. I thought he was the victim of a slip because of that. I replayed it multiple times. It was a little unclear. Casey, I know our producer Casey, you disagree. You think that the slip, there was another reason for it.
No, he just fell down. He just didn't pick up his foot when he was moving forward, and he fell down. It had nothing to do with the vinyl, the canvas. I mean, the canvas is actually sticky. It's not vinyl. It's not slippery at all. It's actually, if anything, it's actually sticky, so nothing actually slides on it. That's why all the fighters, like you see them after the fight, their knees are just completely just torn apart from mat burns. But yeah, it was just he just slipped, fell down, and that's not an excuse for the ass kicking he got, in the sense that he can blame that. That was just, you slipped, you should recover. He takes your back and everything, but that fight was just so symbolic of the entire season, of as far as like the level of competition with the veterans versus the prospects. That was just like perfect on almost.
Casey, you're coming off a little harsh. Not everyone can be
against you.
You are an undefeated fighter. Okay, not everyone can be that way. And Rico is not undefeated. He was not undefeated going to the show. Clearly, he's not undefeated now. There was also the mat was very bloody. We've said many times, clearly they film more than one fight per episode. It did look like this was after the what was that maybe this Katona.
I think
Katona Valiv.
Yeah,
I think they did all 4 fights the same day.
It feels like it.
That
would make sense.
Why wouldn't
they?
All
4 in the same day.
Yeah, why wouldn't they? So I think that could have made the mat slippery. I mean, it's clean. They clean it, thoroughly between each match.
First of all, he didn't slip. He tripped. A slip goes whoop. He just like tripped. He didn't slip.
I should
Also,
throw up
like-
a poll. Yeah, we should have a poll. on
Also,
this.
just like it's just to me, I'm with Casey. Like it doesn't feel like that is what made the difference in the fight. Like was Rico just going to stuff every takedown? Was he just going to catch him and knock him
Maybe.
out?
Maybe.
You can't play by that game. You can't play by that game. If you had such a huge advantage over this guy, and the only thing that caused you to lose was you going to the ground, then you should have been able to get back up and
Or
assert
you
dominance
should have
that
been able
way.
to survive that round and not get 10-7
Yes.
if you made it out of that round. And then you dominate the next 2 rounds because you're not going to slip on the bloody mat.
GC, we need to do a jersey swap because you are not doing Team Blue proud right now with this Rico slander joining in. My goodness, guys.
It's true. That's true. Shit. I didn't even think about that.
Rico called it a slip multiple times after. As soon as he was submitted, arm triangle submission. As soon as he lost, was up like, damn, he's just swearing. The Boston came out of him like, I can't believe I slipped. I can't believe I slipped. So he called it a slip. Maybe he meant trip, but he called it a slip.
Yeah,
I think
dude, I'm not really arguing
yeah.
whether or not he slipped or tripped
Yeah,
or whatever. How it
He clearly
ended up
fell,
on the
he
ground.
clearly
It's-
fell
it's
down
that-
from throwing a strike. Yeah.
It was clear in the replay, but I mean, he got, like Casey said, like that was like
Yes.
a 10-7, unquestionable 10-8, even if
Unquestionable
they
10-8.
had lasted the entire round. I thought it was going to get finished several times before the arm triangle got locked in. Like I know he was able to get up for a second.
He did. He shimmied out. He's tough.
He
shimmied
technically
out.
did shimmy
Rico's
out.
tough.
Like he got a second chance and then immediately got put into the finishing position.
Yeah.
The
So,
ref
yeah, I
was
don't
generous. The ref was generous in giving Rico enough time to survive and get out of that round.
Yes.
Because the ref understood what was at stake for the fight, and he didn't. I felt he gave it that proper respect, and he let Rico basically. He gave Rico all the time in the world, and yeah, that's it. So
If this were an actual exhibition or amateur bout, this would have been stopped well before.
probably a minute,
that
at
submission.
least a minute before, 90
Yeah,
seconds before
because
that. Yeah.
Cody was laying it on him. Cody was
Oh
an
yeah, at
animal.
one
in
point
this
he
fight.
had him in full mount and was just like absolutely raining down shots on him.
Yeah,
And-
Cody was. Yeah, go ahead.
And
Casey.
the whole time I was just like very frustrated watching Rico's defense down there. I was like Rico, just grab him, slow the fight down. He just Rico panicked honestly from the bottom, and he just didn't do anything right to just because you can just there's a lot of ways to stall and just try to get to the end of the
Yeah,
round, and he wasn't.
Was
doing
McGregor
really
not
anything.
yelling that too? I felt like McGregor was like trying to get him to be like stall, like grab him, just
I grab Cody's arms, bring him to you,
Yes.
just kind of tie him up, let Cody just burns time off the clock, and hopefully you get to the next round, because clearly Rico did not have the skill set to get out from that. I know he got from mount, but initially Cody didn't have mount. He worked his way to mount, that was just. There were just levels to this, and Cody was just clearly, especially on the ground, like many, many levels above Rico.
It was a lot of bucking. It was a lot of turning. It was a lot of like he clearly wanted to get out of the situation as quickly as possible. And as you said, Casey, like once a guy gets your back like that, there's just no easy way to work out of it. He's not Derek Lewis. He's not going to just stand up out of it, as it were. So yeah, it was tough. It was a very tough situation for Rico.
felt bad for Rico, like in the post fight, and like he was like, "I'll just try and get back up on the horse," and like the eyes started welling up and stuff. Tough to say.
Oh, no, it sucks for Rico. It definitely sucks because I mean, if that fight stays standing, yeah, he hits hard. He can win that fight, and he can, he could be fighing for the TUF championship next week.
They should have this week.
In Boston,
This week.
in Boston,
yeah.
his
This week. I know.
hometown.
That's
too.
he lost so much. He lost so much, and I do feel bad for Rico. Absolutely, that's just
they
sucks.
should have called him to fight Mario Bautista.
No, dude.
Come on, guys.
I was hoping
Guys,
it was
come
Timor.
on.
I was hoping it was Timor. I like
Yeah,
Timor to get that call, but
Yeah, Timor would be much better than Rico.
Timor deserves it.
Uh,
We'll see.
I don't mean to steer the show here, but
Please.
I feel like we're not covering the hottest topic. I know the fight,
Oh.
big time for Cody Gibson. How about this beef between Cody Gibson and
Yes.
Brad Katona that we now have set up for the finale?
Yes.
Like,
Okay.
Are we not going to touch on that for the entire
are.
first 12 episodes? Like, these dudes hate each other. Like, they are like squabbling in the TUF House kitchen right in front of Michael Chandler. I was just like, where has this been all season? Like, Cody Gibson's dropping yeah, we hate you, dude. No one likes you here.
No one.
There are 16 people in this house. 15 of them hate you.
GC,
yes,
Casey,
that was middle school-esque, I have to say. Like, they're like, no one likes you. Newsflash, no one likes you, bro. It's just like,
I have to ask two things regarding the that drama. One, did you guys get the episode spoiled for you ahead of time? I saw people saying on Sunday somehow the spoiler had leaked. Oh, because the commercial. I think that some regions got a commercial for 292 or something, which supposedly had the finals revealed. I did not see this.
No, I didn't see it.
I did not see this. I don't know.
I saw some rumor. I saw some tweets, some X's.
Okay. Yeah.
X posts about that.
Yeah.
And,
you don't have to do that. You don't do that here.
I just quickly looked away. I was like, ooh, I don't want to see it. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
there were spoilers out there. Yeah.
Yeah, it did not get spoiled for me.
Anything.
I saw people saying there were spoilers, and I was like, okay. But apparently, this wasn't the first time that happened. I heard that they had accidentally put an episode on Fight Pass the Sunday before it was supposed to go up. So there apparently were spoilers out there during the season. I don't know for every episode, but apparently it happened before. Secondly, yes, regarding this drama, once they started showing that, were you guys like, oh, well, Cody's going to win. Otherwise, why would they show this? Yeah, GC, did you think they were giving it away?
Oh, wow, that's good thinking of you. That's good thinking of you. But I did not think that. I was just like, where has this been? Like, they're awkwardly standing there. I mean, Katona just like, he was totally comfortable in the extreme awkwardness of just standing there staring at him, having these calm rebuttals to everything he said. I was just wondering where this was all season. Like, they clearly we're going to wait till the last episode to be like, you're the most self-centered person I've ever met and everyone hates you. Like, where there had to have been some drama before this.
I think every single episode of Tough Hang that we've done, I've complained about that too.
Mm-hmm.
About like,
that is not enough.
Okay,
not enough.
We have this house and all these dudes who want to get a UFC contract. They're not super happy all the time. And like seriously, episode 12. We've seen 11 episodes. This is the first time any actual house drama. That's insane.
And we had been trying to give the production team the benefit of the doubt. We had said, like, maybe there's just nothing happening. Maybe there's nothing happening. But based on this conversation, it sounds like there was a lot happening. Yeah. It sounds like, holy, they should have.
And I wanted to see stretch that out. I don't need to see Rico and Cody give the whole confessional kind of they do, like, I'm gonna win this fight, I'm gonna dominate him. I want to see more of that drama. Then I want to cut away to Roosevelt Roberts going, yeah, that guy sucks, or something. I hate him too. I want to hear. We didn't get anything from any of the other fighters in the house. And
where was the I hate?
They did hint at this before. Remember?
With that one episode, and then nothing happened.
When Katona didn't get on the bus in time, and Roberts was complaining, and then they didn't show any aftermath.
Where was the I hate Brad montage? That's what we wanted. We wanted
a quick cut. Serious. I also would like to have heard more from Chandler's point of view. Chandler was like sitting there awkwardly writing in a journal or something.
That was like him and Jennerman. I think it was him and Nate were just like, oh my god, like stuck in between.
Yeah,
it was so uncomfortable.
Watch again. If you look in the background, one of the coaches is famous Crazy Bob Cook. He's one of the coaches. He's in the background and he's just like giggling the whole time, going, "Oh man, they're about to fight." Like that.
There was
kind of felt like Cody was a little bit of a bully there. Like,
well, that's what Brad was trying to say. That's what Brad was saying. It
kind of felt like he was letting everything out, being like, "No one likes you. I'm gonna beat your ass in the finale. You hate fighting." Like, felt like he was really letting everything out. Talking about how he doesn't have a family, he would have nothing to leave behind. If he lost or if he got knocked out. I was like, "Geez, Cody, like, chill out, man."
I like when Katona goes, "Okay, well, that's true. I don't have a family." Okay.
He's like, true about the kids part, but I do have a wife.
Well put, sir. Well put. Someone wrote "F you, Brad." Like they showed a note, and I'm like, explain that. Dive into that. I want to know.
Yeah,
the
what was that, dude?
You can't just tease it.
A sticky note on like his drinks or whatever that was like, "Fuck you, Katona." Give me a break, man. Tell me what that's all about. Was it from Cody? Who was that from?
I'm glad they at least did build it up. Whether it gave it away or not, whether it was too late, at least we got something. At least we got some sort of build
Now
up.
there's a little something behind the 292 card.
Yeah, listen. Okay, real quick. Is this the first season where there were 0 pranks? Because I remember pranks being used to be a big thing.
To my memory, yeah. I feel like what was the last season? Pena and Nunez, yeah.
Well, I mean, wasn't that like in previous seasons, like the when they do pranks on the other team, and wasn't that like a big thing? I remember.
Yeah, Ortega and Volkanovski, that was just 2 seasons ago, were awesome. They did a lot of fun pranks, probably assisted by the show, by the production team, but good. That's what the pranks should be. The pranks should be enhanced by the production team. That's what we want to see. It doesn't need to be genuine. It's a TV show.
Yeah, except first, I thought this was a prank episode. I thought they were pranking Brad. And I was like, oh no, they just don't like him.
That's a terrible prank. No, I guess it's hard to do a prank war when one of the coaches is not really around. I think that might have been an issue. They were like, "Oh, can we prank Connor today?" It's like, "Yeah, Connor's not here, man."
Because Chandler made his first appearance at the house. When Connor,
I was going to say
Connor comes to the house every week.
Yeah. We got 2 trips to the house for Chandler this episode. Waited till the final episode, but we got 2 visits. I like the crawfish boil.
Oh,
Felt kind of weird though, crawfish boil with both teams, but then McGregor. Was I tripping, or did he just take his team to the stage?
He only took his team, but I was okay with that. Nice. That felt like extra. That felt like an extra thing that McGregor. I assume Conor was paying out of his own pocket.
I was hoping that we were going to get like a behind the scenes of what they actually gambled, or did they just go and cash out the chips and take $1,000? Maybe someone got on a hot streak. One other note about the dinner: I don't know how poor I am. I don't know how broke I am. I've never seen a steak on fire delivered to your table, and like he was eating it, McGregor obviously eating it like while it was still on fire.
GC, as I revealed on a recent preview show, I only eat at Michelin star restaurants, so obviously I have seen this before. I can assure you it is extremely expensive.
Does it have a name?
It's French and I can't pronounce it right now, but I'll tweet it out later. I'll tweet it.
That's really a thing.
I think so. I think you could set anything on fire. When I realized that you could fry anything, I'm like, well, surely if you can fry anything, you can set anything on fire, because that did look wonderful.
Shout out to McGregor taking him to the Fertitas restaurant.
Yeah,
class move. Company man there. Company man.
And that's how I know a lot of that was comped too. So I was like, as much as I'm saying Conor, did pay probably for some of it. A lot of it was comped. Probably the chips, almost for sure. I guarantee the chips were just a gift to Conor that he could give to his team.
And also, I mean,
I'm not seeing anything here about like the steak was on fire on the plate. It blew my mind.
What's it called in general? A souffle. A souffle. Flaming souffle, right? Did they do that? That's a thing.
No, a souffle.
A souffle. What am I thinking?
That's not
of?
what a steak is.
Flambe.
A filet?
Flambe.
Flambe?
Flambe.
Isn't flambe a dessert?
I think so, but again, it's a flaming dessert. Theoretically, you could do flambe. I just googled this. Not that I needed to. I knew this, but just so I could find the proper wording. The French word for flamed or flaming. So you could,
Okay, so like a flambe is covered in liquor. Do you think they covered the steak in proper 12 and then lit it on fire?
I would hope so.
Steak flambe. I found it. Here it is. Yeah, sure enough.
GC, we're getting a little in the weeds here. GC, we're getting a little in the weeds here.
Listen, I'm trying to open my eyes to new cultural experiences. But
what did you think of who was it? Who did the speech? Carlos. What do you think of Carlos's speech?
Yeah, he just became like the best man of the wedding. He was just like, I'm gonna give a toast.
Too. Yeah, I just love how he's just like, yeah, can we say like incredibly nice things about you? And McGregor's just like 1,000%, 1,000%.
By all means, go. Don't let me stop you. Don't let me stop you. Yeah, the relationship between the fighters and the coaches is so interesting. I wonder, was Brad invited to that dinner? I'd have to watch it again. Did they not invite Brad?
Was he at the table? I'm not sure.
He would have
I can't remember if he was there or not.
He wore the blue jersey during the face-offs. We can talk about the face-offs a little bit here. GC, do you feel like Team McGregor has a gut? This is originally drafted by Team Chandler fighters, by the way, in the final. We should be clear. Yes, Katona trains with McGregor and Kavanaugh outside of the show. Yes, he went over and switched teams, but technically this was a guy drafted by Chandler. On the other hand, the whole drafting process was pretty asinine and boring. It sucks that they just said, oh yeah, well, this whole group of guys with you, this whole group of guys with you, instead of going one by one. So I'm okay. GC, do you want to claim having one blue jersey in the finale?
Yeah, but like you're gonna have the asterisk by it. It's 4 vets. I also have to say, pat ourselves on the back. You weren't here for the prediction show where we tried to predict what was gonna happen. We went 0 for 4. We got all 4 wrong.
Oh, is that true?
Yeah, we said it was gonna be Rico and Valieve versus who was it? The other two, Jason Knight and whoever Hubbard beat in the final. We were wrong on all accounts. We went 0 for 4.
Thank goodness you can't actually wager on the show, because I'm sure you would have, and obviously it would have gone poorly. Katona, I said rocking the blue. I also noted his post, sort of the little hype video. He was like, "I am going to be clinical in there and do." He essentially said, "I'm going to be boring." He's like, "I'm letting you guys know I am going to be boring." Great job there. We got the Chandler McGregor face off.
That was good. That was good.
McGregor
growled at him like a dog.
And that made me laugh. I don't know why. I just laughed out loud. And then immediately after, I was like laughing. And then like, I'll see you at the fight. And I'm like, that's weird. Yeah. That's not normal behavior.
You said betting. We don't have a line yet for Katona, for the Katona fight. Kurt Hallba currently a plus 150 underdog to Austin Hubbard on Saturday.
GC, give us a little no bets barred preview here. I know you guys are going to record the show. This has to be part of the show.
I mean, we'll talk about it, but I don't know, man. You just said it. Thank God I wasn't able to bet on any of this because I would have gone 0 for 4. I don't know if I'm going to start betting on Saturday. I mean, as a fan of the show, as a diehard TUF guy, I might just enjoy as a fan.
So you said Hallba underdog.
Hallba underdog to Hubbard.
Plus 185.
Plus 150.
150.
You really didn't hear any of that, huh?
I didn't hear anything that you just said. I will listen. I will have to listen to the show because I do want to hear your thoughts, because you got to break this down for Jed. He did guest on one episode, I believe, but he doesn't. I don't think he has that feel for it. I like Katona, probably, and I like Hallba. I like Hallba's underdog. Casey, what do you think? You got picks for these finals?
The finals. I'm going for Hallba just because coming into the show, I had no idea why he was even part of the vet cast. He's someone that had a very bad UFC run. He had a bad Strikeforce run. He's a guy that once he left the UFC, I was like, okay, he'll fight a few more times in the regional circuit and move on with his life. I honestly can't believe how good he did on the show. And that's all compliments to him. Like he exceeded expectations, I think, by so much. He wasn't supposed to, he was brought in, I think he was brought in to lose. He wasn't supposed to win his what do you call it? When the team, his first match.
He almost lost to Lee Hammond. Like he should have lost to Lee Hammond, honestly.
I mean, he should have.
Really just had
Lee Hammond was the better fighter, but Lee Hammond made a mistake, and then Hallba just, I think he got a guillotine on him or something like that, and like Lee Hammond, it was supposed to be Lee Hammond in the finals. I think by design that's what they wanted, and congratulations to Kurt Hallba. I feel like I know. TUF did a good job in that sense. I do know Kurt Hallba now. I feel like that. I know he's got 7 dogs. I know like him and doing that little, when they look at it, when he talked to his family, I was like, oh man, that's real. That wasn't just, I don't know, just I'm talking about family. That was legit. And I like that. And I'm picking Hallba, but I won't be shocked if Hubbard wins, honestly. But I think my heart is going for Kurt Hallba.
I think one thing we've said several times is that the quote unquote veterans on the show should have just been brought back they shouldn't have to go through this. And I stand by that for the most part, but yes, Kurt Hallba is probably a guy who was not going to get a UFC deal out of the blue unless as a short notice replacement. He would have to jump through some sort of hoop. So he is the one who, and again, I wouldn't be excited. Like I like Kurt Hallba. I wouldn't be excited if you told me Kurt Hallba is like back in the UFC, signed on to fight whoever, some Contender Series guy. I'd be like, oh, cool, Kurt Hallba's back. I wouldn't really think about it. But after seeing him in The Ultimate Fighter, like actively rooting for him to come back
100%.
and have some sort of career. No, he doesn't have to challenge for a world title, but come back, get 4, 5, 6 UFC fights under his belt, get a fight night bonus in there somewhere. Like, what a fine way that would be to end his career, however many fights he has left. And this is the most we've talked about Kurt Holobaugh ever in life. So in that sense, the show did its work.
It did its job. I'm cheering for Kurt Holobaugh. I'm honestly cheering for Katona too. The way that Gibson was going at him. Oh yeah, I'm cheering for Katona, baby. Let's go, Team Brad, Team Big Brad, Team Blue, baby.
I'm big time Cody Gibson. I am big time Cody Gibson.
Let's go. Good. You're the side of the bully. I'm here for the little people.
No, he's not a bully. He's a truth teller.
Yeah, sure. That's how bullies phrase bullying.
Yeah. Oh, so all 15 guys in the house were bullies, huh?
I was going to say 15 out of 16 people. That's a pretty strong sample.
Army of one, baby. That's what we've always been. The boys in the blue, army of one. Let's go, Brad Katona.
If they had done an I Hate Brad montage, that would have been the worst.
That would have been
amazing.
Yeah,
why do they not cut away to they do interviews of everyone, just every single guy go, yeah, I don't think how hilarious that would have been. Once they say that, then a montage of every fighter going, yeah, I don't know about that Brad guy.
Plus, I'm trying to see the ultimate fighter.
And
you like ultimate?
Yeah,
I like multimate. I think you've said before you like ultimate. I like multimate.
Yeah.
I thought multimate was funny.
Either way, we can make shirts. We can brand this out. We can really do something sick here.
What a feather in his cap that'd be for Katona, the first guy to win 2 Ultimate Fighters.
That's not a thing. That should not be a thing. That's like getting a contract on the Contender Series, going to the UFC, getting cut, and then going back on the Contender Series and getting another contract. It's
2 times.
Well, it is
2 times.
You're just gonna have to deal with it. The ultimate fighter.
The multimate fighter. I want to repeat the commentary. Afterwards we got a little promo for UFC 292, pretty standard UFC stuff. And then they have to show McGregor and Chandler, and it was phrased as this: Conor McGregor and Michael Chandler set their sights on a future Octagon showdown. Of course, they did not announce a date. We all know there is no date for this fight yet. What's our final confidence level check, guys? I think, Casey, you have long been, this is not happening. This is never happening.
GC, I don't even want to see it. I don't care about it.
You don't even want to see anywhere.
I am more interested in Kurt Holobaugh's fight than Conor McGregor versus.
Come off it. Come off it.
No, I'm dead serious. Like Conor McGregor versus anyone is like cool, whatever. Dude, I'm not this Conor McGregor guy. I'm just not. I'm like he's just another rich guy.
If Conor McGregor and Michael Chandler was this weekend, you're telling me you would be more excited for the Holloway fight than you would be for Chandler McGregor?
Well, okay, in divisional rankings and in significance to the sport, of course, Chandler McGregor makes more sense. But in terms of I actually care about that person, I am more invested in the person, Kurt Holloway, than Conor McGregor and Chandler fighting each other.
Casey at a 0.
Die hard Kurt Holloway fan.
Yeah.
I'm just
at a 0.
That's a guy He's going from his little farm in Louisiana to getting a UFC contract. I mean,
we love Kurt Holloway.
Conor, we're going a guy from multi-millionaire and okay, cool, he make another couple $1 million. I just don't care for that.
Financially speaking, sure.
Yeah, that's why I care more about Kurt Holloway. Of course, in the grand scheme of MMA rankings, all that blah blah blah. Of course,
legacy, history.
Yeah, I get
potential excitement of fight. Yeah. I mean, I feel like that would.
But Conor versus anybody, Chandler versus anybody would obviously be more important.
Must watch TV.
So Casey at a firm 0 as far as level of interest, and also at the chances of the fight happening. GC, where are you as far as chances of the fight happening?
You said level of interest. Level of interest is. I mean, it's a 9 out of 10. Damn. I mean, what do you want me to say? If it happens, I will be there no matter what. I will be sitting in front of my TV. I will be watching it 1,000%. In terms of it actually happening, I mean, the talks have ramped back up. We got Dana being he's going to fight Chandler. That's going to happen. He's now saying, yes, it's going to be Chandler. I was just kind of messing around. Just when does it happen? Give me January pay-per-view, McGregor Chandler. That's my final prediction.
Yeah, I think we all came down on it's not going to happen this year. It could. All the USADA
December.
Stuff. My best friend Mike Heck has been saying on Heck of a Morning all the time. Don't worry about the USADA stuff. If they want him to fight in December, they're going to find a way to make him fight
Well,
in December.
yeah, if they break every protocol and rule and regulation that they have, that fight can happen
they don't
next
care
week if they wanted to.
But I agree. I think early next year is more likely. It's a great way for them to start their 2024 calendar year right off the bat. Just like they're in, it puts them in the black, right? I mean, that's a good thing, right? I'm not a money guy. In the black is good.
Yeah.
McGregor fight puts him in the black right out of the gate.
He fought Cerrone in January, so we know he's open to January pay-per-views.
It's a good month for him. It's a good month for McGregor. Wait, did the first Poirier loss also happen in January? Anyway. Someone said.
Oh yeah, maybe that's what I'm thinking of. Maybe I'm getting.
No. It was also. I think he also fought Cerrone in January. I know you're correct on that. Yeah. Someone in the comments last week said this show would have been way much better with Tony Ferguson instead of Chandler. WTF? They choose Chandler. Why the f did they choose Chandler? I don't know if I agree with that. Jeez, how do you feel? How do you guys feel?
You're saying
I want
Ferguson and McGregor as coaches.
As far as just stupid house drama.
We didn't
drama
really see
in general,
that much of either.
I don't know.
Yeah, there's no drama because they're never together. They're and I don't know. It's like until like the actual fights, and then occasionally after the fights they yap. I know. I thought, but yeah, I guess. I mean, sure. I don't know.
would the fight be more? No, not you just said no. McGregor fight is interesting anymore. GC.
No, it's not that. It's not that. No, we're talking about like level of interest I got from the show for the fight. The season of TUF did not give me any more interest for McGregor versus Chandler. You couldn't have had that fight 6 months ago before the show happened. My interest would be the same. That's what I mean. Like, the show did not pique any interest at all for me. The show did pique interest for me in Kurt Holloway's career. That's what I mean. Okay.
That's what I've been. I say this
eloquently put.
I repeat it until they change it. That like having the fighters be the coaches is such a waste of time, and it's also the fact is most of these fighters don't want to be on TV for that long. And even McGregor this year sounded like disinterested at times at doing. Like it's just he's done this dance before. He's coached the show before. He didn't want to do it. Like get people who want get get Chael Sonnen on here. Get Matt Serra on here. Get retired fighters. Could you get a Daniel Cormier coaching season? That would be amazing. Like
honestly, I thought Chandler wanted to be there. I thought Chandler
was fine. Chandler was
a great coach. He generally cared for these guys. So I have no issue with Chandler in the show.
He wasn't like super dynamic personality though. He was a good coach. He wasn't like a super dynamic personality. I say get people who you know are good TV personalities and want to coach. Don't worry about hyping up a fight. It's so pointless. It just doesn't matter. As Casey so eloquently put it, it rarely builds up that much more anticipation for the fight. You got to just put them in the cage and let people who aren't fighting handle coaching. It just be more interesting. And I don't know.
Can I throw a hypothetical?
Of course.
If from episode 1, if it was Chandler that got the prospects and McGregor they got the vets, would the records been the same?
I still think the vets would have won. Maybe Chandler squeezes
no,
1,000%.
1,000%. Vets still dominate. There's no question about it.
Yeah, I mean, because we talk about this coaching, there are good coaches, bad coaches, but then if we switch teams, we go, records would be the same. That's all. I think, So I mean, I don't know what we learned as far as coaching.
Oh, nothing. It wasn't that. It was not like McGregor. I don't think McGregor's a great coach. By the way, how about shout out to him doing some sparring in like a dress shirt in this episode? That was fun. I don't know why.
The polo, the athletic polo. I love that.
Why? Just why? I guess that's what's a McGregor brand clothing. Probably he doesn't miss a step. He doesn't miss a step. I will say the man does not miss a trick. But yes, if you switch around, maybe Chandler can squeeze out one more win out of there. But I'm honestly not sure.
Maybe
it's 6-2.
How much were they really doing? Yeah, like how much were they really affecting it?
Yeah, and we know this with the vets too. Like the vets, I'm sure enjoying the food, being able to focus on training, enjoying the comforts of the house. But other than that, they're not greatly increasing their takedown defense. They're striking. They're in the house for doesn't matter how long they're in there. I
do have a bit of breaking news in terms of when the fight happens. McGregor, 2 of his last 3 fights taking place in January. Let's just go ahead and make it 3 of 4 this January. UFC 297. There it is.
290. If you could place a bet on that, would you? If it was you're getting plus on that, plus odds.
No. I'm a degenerate. I'm not that big of a degenerate.
Let's. I want to go on a positive note, guys. This has been a wonderful experience. Let's just talk about some of our favorite moments from the show. There's so many. But GC, you can start us off.
Well, I was gonna say, if we're gonna go out on a positive note, do we want to do the final reviews of TUF first?
No, that's will not be ending on a positive note. I don't think so.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, do the review.
We do that before we finish on the positive note.
Yeah. Good point. Let's. We'll go in order of probably least positive to most positive. I could be wrong. I don't know. Casey, start us off. You're the we start off. You were the in between. You've watched a lot of TUF seasons. You definitely had not watched a full season in a long time before Ultimate Fighter 31. You had to come back so we could, TUF hang out a little bit. What's your thoughts on the season?
Boring.
Mm-hmm.
Just mostly just boring, and most boring and just boring and frustrating. I think that's the biggest thing. Frustrating, especially with the last episode, seeing that there was some house drama, some real house drama, not some kind of let's throw a bunch of alcohol in the house and see if they get drunk type of drama. This was actually no. These guys, because we're like, oh, are they good fighters? But are they also good roommates? And it turns out that maybe Katona isn't a good roommate either. So I want to see more of that because like these guys, they're away from their families, and which we saw a lot of that. We know they miss their families a lot. But and they're stuck with people in a house that eventually they will have to try to beat up, and those people are also trying to beat them up, and that's got to be really stressful for I don't know how many weeks they're in there, 6, 12 weeks, I don't know, but I wanted to see more of that, and they gave us a little bit in the very last episode, and I was like, oh, there's so much kind of cool stuff, and that was in the house, but we didn't see it, so my grade for the show, boring and frustrating. But I am a Kurt Holleba fan.
Okay, so solid C minus? Is that generous?
C.
D plus.
Is D plus a thing?
D plus is absolutely a thing.
All right, D plus.
D plus. Wow. Okay. GC, please. I assume you can only go up from there.
I mean, yeah, we won't go up much. I'm going to give it a C minus. You said it earlier in the show, like. It's a TV show. This is meant for entertainment. And now that I've gone through an entire season, watched every single week, multiple times a week, honestly, so I've seen it through. It just lacks entertainment value. It's just too formulaic. It's too cut and dry. They don't highlight the things that I wanted to see. Like I wanted to see the drama. I wanted to see more of Chandler. I wanted to see more of McGregor. We got the coaches challenge, which was like a fun thing. Didn't get that till episode 11. I don't know. Like I'm kind of with what Casey said. Like or maybe it was you who just said it that we get two coaches that want to be there, that can commit all their time to it, that don't necessarily have to be hyping up a fight, that are personalities. And you just go hard for however long the show is going to be, and you make it entertaining, you make it dramatic, you make it fun. Like in terms of a reality show, I would rather be watching The Bachelor, the Challenge, Survivor. Like I would take any of those real, authentic reality shows. Actually, I don't know how authentic they are. One of those real, like famous reality shows over this any day of the week, and watching MMA is one of my favorite things to do, and this is an MMA reality show. You think I would have enjoyed it more?
It's a reality show that somehow takes a lot of the fun and excitement out of MMA, which is probably one of the worst things I can say. I guess I'll agree.
And it takes a lot of the fun and excitement out of a reality show. Like reality shows are supposed to be like turn your brain off, just like let me relax, not think about anything in the outside world. Like this is just supposed to be dumb entertainment. Honestly, a lot of the times at the misfortune of the contestants on the show, this had next to none of that.
I'll go with the C. Like I said, I'll go with the C minus. I think I agree. I want to say C, but I don't. In good conscience, I can't lie to the American people and say I enjoyed this season that much. I enjoyed covering it with you guys. I mean, that I loved. And I loved watching it along with everyone who tuned into TUF Hang every week. That part was great. The programming itself.
Agree.
A bit of a struggle at times, as someone who has not missed a season, I was really disappointed that they didn't take more opportunities to just try and play around with the format a little bit. Like familiar is good, but that's if the formula you have is like killer. If you've got a killer formula, by all means, run that back every season. Give the people what they want. But again, this show has been this way, stagnant, disinteresting, completely undynamic for at least 10 editions, probably more, a dozen, maybe the past dozen editions of the series. And they need new ideas. They need to tweak the format. They need to really dig into any drama they have. Yes, this episode was so revealing as to what the show maybe could have been. Maybe based on the cast, maybe based on the coaches, there's nothing that would have elevated this to like A-level programming. I completely understand that, but it does feel like we did. Yeah, it does feel like we didn't even get the best possible season we could have gotten.
Yeah. And we like, also it feels like in a lot of reality shows, you're building towards something. And I understand that we were building to the finales that we're going to get at 292, but like, it also didn't feel like we were building towards anything at all. And it felt like there was no real payoff. Like, let me ask you guys this, say they announce next season, you have zero obligation to watch it. We're not doing Tough Hang. You're not writing your articles, anything like that. It's just your own free will. Are you sitting down and are you watching Tough season 32?
You can't ask me that question. Casey, go ahead.
No, I'm asking you that again.
I will answer. I'll let Casey go first.
Unless it's literally like a fighter I personally know, who is again, they're like someone I train with. They're like, oh, they're in the Tough House. I might watch it for that, maybe. But a big no. No.
No, there's no shot I am.
I will cover Tough until I die. I will watch it as a fan. No. I will cover it.
That's what I'm asking. No, don't want to hear about how you're covering it. Do not want to hear about how you're covering it.
Okay, you're right.
I'm saying you have zero obligation.
I definitely can't answer this question then, because when it comes around every year and someone asks, "Do we want to cover The Ultimate Fighter?" I am the first one at the meeting raising my hand, and go like, "You're damn right, we want to cover it, and I'm gonna do it." So I can't be asked. But to me, this is my Simpsons, guys. This is my Simpsons. Do you guys watch The Simpsons anymore every week? You know that show's still on every week, new episodes.
No, I don't.
The Simpsons are fine now, but I moved on.
Yeah.
They had those 10 great seasons in the late 90s or whatever, and then I was like, okay, I moved on. And
that's how most people feel about it too, I think. And of course, Simpsons probably gets much higher weekly ratings than The Ultimate Fighter ever will. But the point is, it has lost cultural impact. When people reference The Simpsons, they're generally referencing, like you said, Casey, that prime, 10 seasons, which everyone of a certain age group watched. Those references will live on forever. Those episodes will live on forever. And I'm probably there with The Ultimate Fighter right now. Like I can make so many references to some of the better, greater seasons of The Ultimate Fighter, great champions from the past, great moments. I will struggle to reference anything. Maybe this season just because I did it with you guys, but like seasons 30 to 22, 21, going back that far, I'm not going to be able to remember. I can't remember stuff from those seasons. So this is my Simpsons. I'm sticking with it. I know it has no cultural relevancy anymore, but I just have to do it. It's in my blood now. Favorite moments, guys.
I'll kick us off. I mean,
please.
When McGregor finally got the finish, that was great. The Dishulo, just like the whole story around him and everything.
Big team blue moment.
Big team blue moment. McGregor going absolutely bananas in the apex, running all around, going crazy. That was good.
This was a list, Conor. This was a list of things.
The Hollow Jason Knight fight was incredible.
Of course,
that has to be up there.
That's a top 5 fight of the year. I am telling you, I will be campaigning for this for the next 4 months, that people put this in their top 5 list. I think that fight is so good.
Was amazing.
Yeah,
that was amazing. You guys got anything? I'm trying to think here.
The talking about the dog curse was
the dog curse. Yes,
the highlight of the season. Every week, it just kept going and going and going, and I'm like, they know what they're doing. They have.
That
to
was
know.
Amazing. I agree.
We started to wonder, do both fighters have dogs? And they just didn't show one fighter's dog as like a tip off. Was the production crew trying to like tip people off to who was going to win? I don't know. But it was such a weird phenomenon. I think at the end we did realize it was more of a McGregor issue than a dog issue. But for me, and I've said this before, I know I'm a monster, someone who's not a huge fan of canines, I'm that guy. There's not that many of us, so I don't even know if be that guy. I'm just
guy.
one guy. A huge
Are you
cat
a cat
guy. Big time cat. Love cats. I'm glad I said that. By the way, I'm glad I said this on this episode because if I think I said it on episode 1, that's immediate unsubscribe, block.
Have to be, yes. Oh,
so I'm glad I mentioned it now.
We can't monetize. Yeah.
I'm a monster. I'm not defending it. I'm a monster, and I know this. So I was happy to be able to blame dogs for the losses, but it really wasn't their fault. Those adorable little pups, it wasn't their fault. We know that now. The Black Forge Irish Stout Stew, I thought was also wonderful. Conor McGregor coming over. He's like,
that was good. Hey, let's just go ahead and sum it up to all of the product placement visits by McGregor.
Go.
The rowing, rowing race.
McGregor Fast.
That was McGregor Fast. The hangout where they all got drunk on Proper 12, and he did the fake staircase. That was an all-time moment.
Oh, the staircase.
That might be a top 10 moment for me, where he did the fake staircase. That was a he's just like me moment. I think that was it. Those 3: Forge Irish Stout, McGregor Fast, and the Proper 12.
I do want to say this week's shirt, I was probably an August McGregor shirt. If that's what August McGregor is, I don't know what kind of clothes, but that is his clothing brand. So probably 4. We probably got August McGregor in there. Casey, anything else jumping
August
out?
McGregor, he has a clothing brand?
He does. August McGregor is a relative of his?
Was that one of the questions when they were in a tub?
Huh?
Was that one of the questions about Conor?
It should have been.
Why is it called Proper 12?
Whoop ass and look good.
Why is it called
Proper 12? Well, we know because the district in Crumlin that he lived in, something to that effect. I can't remember why it's called August McGregor. If anyone knows, people by all means throw that out there.
I can tell you right now. I can tell you right now. Whoop ass and look good. The simple quote that has served as the premise of this joint partnership. August McGregor is the menswear brand created by Conor McGregor and the luxury custom clothier David August, offering select curated range of athleisure, casual wear, and accessible suiting for the bold and spirited fans of Conor and his style. All right, I guess I'm gonna have to order a little August McGregor here.
You got the Proper 12 in the back. You've had it there all season. You got that Forge Irish Stout. I'm surprised you're not wearing a McGregor Fast hat. Maybe we'll see that in the future. But yes, it's been a season. Casey, would you agree with that? It's been a season.
Yeah, technically, yeah. By definition, yes.
It's been a season of television. We all watched it together. Ultimate Fighter, 31 seasons going, guys, and I honestly don't think that they're going to stop. I think Dana loves it, and this one probably did better numbers than your average tough season. So if you're
no doubt,
like run it back. But I don't know. I will tell people now. I don't know if we'll be doing Tough Hang in the future. I had to fight hard to get this show going. They're like, why would we do a lot?
You did. You had to fight.
Not that. I mean, not that. I had Conor involved, but I do think I will say the powers that be were probably like, really? Do people want to tune in to a post Ultimate Fighter show in the year of our Lord 2023? And I was like, yeah, because
they
do. You're damn right they do.
We charged them so much to do this. Yeah, I'm sure it was a really difficult decision for them.
So I don't know if we'll be doing Tough Hang in the future. Obviously, we probably would not have done Tough Hang this season if Conor McGregor wasn't involved. If this was like Zhang Weili and Amanda Lemos building up to like UFC 292,
we will not be back for that.
You're probably not. Yair Prochazka and Alex Pereira, if they become tough coaches next season or something, if that fight gets pushed back, probably you won't see us. And also the viewership.
I'll be so much more interested in Yair as a coach.
Casey's back.
I'm down for Yair Pereira. That would be amazing.
And when they and when they introduce the super heavyweights and the atom weights in the same season, 8 super heavyweights, 8 atom weights. This is how we.
Sign me up for all of this.
I think there's a chance. I don't want to make promises to people, but I'm saying if something like that happened, you might not have seen the last.
What's the singular moment that people are going to remember from this season? Everyone's got the
shove. No doubt, the shove.
You get Rampage kicking through the door. You got I don't know what's some other moments. Just let me bang, bro.
Yeah. It's the shove. They showed it so many times before the show even aired. People will use it for reactions. Our own GC, I'm sure, has already used it for some sexy meme. That he's always throwing out there.
Do it, yeah. I don't know about sexy, but yeah.
Guys, I think that's a wrap, though. I think we got a wrap. I know we've been trying to hang on there. I know we're trying to, we don't want to leave the party. They're turning the lights on. And
I know this is the last time we're gonna be in this frame here. Last time we're gonna do this intro outro. Maybe we'll be back. I mean, if they do something special, if they do something really special, like you said, if they debuted like the atom weight and like that's how they decided the champion, maybe. If it was big stars, maybe. But like you said, if it's Raquel Pennington versus Holly Holm, I'm probably out for next.
Probably. What about Pena though? What about Pena? Think about that.
My girl.
Guys, well, again, people will still see plenty of us on the MMA Fighting Network. I'm doing preview shows and podcasts. GC, you're on the MMA Hour all the time. You got No Bets Barred. Casey, the man behind the scenes, on way too many shows. I can't even name them all. But thank you, guys. Thank you, GC. Thank you, Casey. Thank you, everyone who tuned in every week, who's listening on the podcast network, everyone who's checking the show out. It actually has been super fun to do the show.
Yes, that's the biggest thing. It has been very fun. I actually have enjoyed this. I'm glad that there was a finish line involved with this. Like I knew it was just going to end, so I just enjoyed the moments while I had them. You said it. Okay. Thank you to anyone that tuned in.
Yeah.
You're
to
crazy,
watch these,
but thank you.
You guys are
to
crazy.
Watch these shows without venting to someone what I just watched. If I just watched it and turned the TV off and just sat in my living room, just like.
Okay, that was that.
Yeah, this was therapeutic.
This was therapeutic. Okay, I'll give you that. Yes, all right.
For a lot of people.
I very much enjoyed this.
All right.
Thank you, guys. Casey,
C minus, C plus to C minus.
As high a C minus as I can put. Casey, please no.
TUF season 31. TUF season 31. C minus. TUF Hang season 1. A plus plus.
Big time. Casey, no royalty free music this week. Let's cue that Sarah McLachlan, and then let's get out of here.
Yeah.
No royalty free music. Let's go.
I hope you had the time of your life.
Oh, Green Day. Okay.
Yeah, let's go.
All right, guys. We'll see you.
Bye.